Oral or anal?
Oral. Mm-mm.
Anal or anal?
Neither. Advice.
Females is posting their cash app on Facebook statuses.
Yo, can I tell you something?
On the corner,
as
shaking
a single, I keep it a buck. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I really like head. She don't really like giving head. We just gotta come to like an understanding. But look, I really like head. You may not like doing it. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I'll do the thing you like, you know, and give me the head. Babe, this is serious shit I'm about to start with, okay?
Go ahead.
No light shit, no like.
You know I'm an honest ass person.
Exactly.
And I keep it
So
a book.
talk to me like luck. We don't got a relationship.
If anything, good luck to you.
Alright, so first off, you have black, half white, right?
Yeah, and Indian.
What do you mean Indian? What does that mean?
We're from the Blackfoot tribe. Like, I'm actually Indian. Like, I have ancestors from Indian.
What are you talking about? You said
I'm black and white. Yeah, but I'm Indian too. I'm black, white, and
so
Indian.
Are you 50? Like, what are you saying?
No,
are you
because
50-50?
I'm Italian, Irish, Jamaican, African, and Indian.
We're not doing all that, baby.
Okay, then. So don't ask me what I am.
that's like your ethnicity and shit. Like, I'm talking about like.
General, black,
so
white,
Nigerian.
I'm black and white then.
Black, Italian, white. So we could.
So then, what's Indian?
So Indian that's what I'm asking you. Indian would be like a
whole different thing on its own.
So
yes,
would you say you're like 20? What would be like?
I'm probably like 10% Indian, and then.
Who do you know in your family that's Indian?
My grandpa. His dad is actually black and
Native American.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. His dad. He has a picture, and I always thought it was like, you know, when you buy the picture frames and it comes with the little black and white pictures. I always thought that was like he had a frame in the living room and didn't put a picture in it. And I was like, Grandpa, why you don't put a picture in there? And he was like, that's my mom and my dad. And I was like, okay. He was like, we're from the Blackfoot tribe. Now I think they're in Idaho now, if I'm correct. Look it up.
That's great. So do you have any knowledge about like I
asked him about it a little bit, but I feel like I just want to do that ancestry thing and see what I really am.
Sure. But I would just be curious about, like, you know, the spirit animals and shit like that.
Because, you
like,
know, that's why I'm really big into, like, dream catchers and shit like that. That's why.
Yeah, they're very spiritual.
At first, I thought it was just like, oh, I'm black, white, and Indian. I'm Indian. No, my grandpa was really like, we're from the Blackfoot tribe.
I feel like you should say Native American, but I don't even like Indian.
Native American, okay.
Because
when you hear Indian, you think of, like the Indians.
Indians, like...
Thank you, come again.
Yeah.
True. Native
I know a couple Indians in Florida. Shit. But Native American, I never met a Native American. That's pretty, like... It's pretty dope. I didn't expect that answer. I was expecting just the black and white.
No.
But what I was going to ask about the black and white, which do you feel more aligned to one than the other, or like
black?
You feel more black than white?
I was raised by my grandpa's family, my dad's family, and my dad's side of the family is black. But a lot of people in my family are black and white from my dad's side, if that makes sense. Because my dad's mom was white, and my grandpa's obviously black. But I feel more black, like. But my uncle's black. He married a white woman, so my cousins are white.
Okay, I was gonna ask that next.
My cousin Joy, her mom's black, and my uncle's black, so she came out black. But she's like, so it's weird because like I'm not really like fully. I feel like I'm not really like fully 50% black, if that makes sense. Because my cousin's only like 12%, 13% black. Because my dad's black and white, and my mom is white. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're more white than black.
Pretty much.
But
culture-wise, I'm more black than white.
So this is interesting. Like, no lie.
Like, I swear to God. Like, if you, like, my cousins say all the time, you're blacker than me.
Yeah.
Because
For sure. So what is racism like for you?
See, people always ask me that shit.
Yeah,
racism is different for me.
Obviously.
Because I was always the white girl with all the black people. So it would always be like my cousins and me. Because we all three grew up together. Uh-huh. And then it's funny because I have my cousin that does the tattoos. He's Puerto Rican. He's Spanish. But I don't have no Spanish in me. So that's funny. But it would be my two cousins, the ones that I was in the group chat with. My two cousins and me, we were inseparable since I was like 8 years old. Inseparable.
But I don't mean like racism
I'm telling you. Okay. And we would be inseparable. And every time we went out, they thought that they were sisters and I was just a friend. Or like if I'd say I'm half black, half white, they'd be like, I'd have to be like, come to my house, look at my grandpa, you don't believe me? Like they won't believe me. They'd either think I'm Spanish or I'm white. And when I'd say I'm black, they'd be like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'd be like, yes, I am. Like, how you about to tell me I'm not black? Like, like, you know what I mean? So racism was mad different for me. But I see my cousins go through that shit too a lot.
So, but what was your opinion on like?
I ain't gonna lie, I use my white a lot.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
use my white a lot, but then when it comes to like getting brolic and shit like that, they be like, what the fuck? Okay, you're not white. And then it's funny because one time at work, I had a cold. It actually happened recently, a year. I still go through it. A year or two ago, when I had first started being a secretary, one of the techs asked me, what are you, white in Spanish? I was like, I get that all the time. I'm either full Spanish, full white, or white in Spanish, or mixed with white and something else. I was like, I'm white and black. And I was like, I was raised with my black side of the family. She was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And then a week later, she came up to me. She was like, can I tell you something? And I was like, what? She was like, the first time you told me that you was black, I didn't believe you. Then I worked with you for like a week, only a week, maybe a couple days in that week. And then I realized you're black as fuck. And I was like, she was like, the way you talk, the way you present yourself, everything about you, you could tell. I was like, I was raised by a black 60-year-old man, like who went through like the racism and shit like that. So I know all that shit.
You ever had any issues with the N-word?
Nigga,
I'm not even gonna say N-word.
I always say nigga.
Yeah, me too.
Nigga. And I get offended when somebody who doesn't have the right to say it says it. So see, I have like, it's the line between both. But I get very offended. Like, I'm really like, Black Lives Matter. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Hard body. I'm sure a lot of people are there.
Yeah, I'm 100% Puerto Rican. I have no connections technically, you know, like bloodline wise. Well, I'm Taino, so if you want to go deep, we technically are black and Indians, Native Americans put together. But culturally, nigga, I'm like 100% black, nigga. I don't speak Spanish. The only thing Spanish about me is I eat rice and beans every day. Like, for real though, like.
Well, you fit right in with my family. And it's funny because my mom's side is white as fuck. And then my brothers are black. My brothers are black and white. So my mom is real Italian, Sicilian, but she dated nothing but black men. So like, and then my dad is black from Tennessee. He's my stepdad. I was adopted by my mom and my dad in New York. I was adopted by them.
What age?
9. Not even. Probably like 6 or 7. And it's crazy because 6 or 7. And when my mom right now divorced my dad, she couldn't take me because she didn't have no right to me because it was on marriage. So she was just like, all right, whatever. Then when my dad left, got arrested and went to jail forever. I stood with my grandpa and she tried to fight him, but then she was like, I'm not going to fight him because, you know, I know he'll take good care of you. Like 4 years ago, she was moving from Tennessee to New York and she found my adoption papers. I guess my grandma in Virginia, like, finessed the system so that she could adopt me even though my dad didn't, like, sign papers or nothing.
So when you say adopted, you wasn't in a foster home, though?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I probably would have been better off. But
you were just in a bad situation and someone
a lot of bad situations.
Yeah.
No. What happened? My dad had me for a long time, even through getting arrested, doing drugs, like drinking, everything. I was there with my dad.
But that's what I'm saying. You was with your parents growing up.
Not my parents, my dad.
You was with your dad.
Which is the one, he's in like Minnesota or something right now.
And then someone came and got you out of there when...
No, he got married to April. She had my sister. And when they got married, I guess something happened and I stood with my other grandpa and grandma in Virginia. My life was fucking crazy when I was a kid. My other grandpa and grandma in Virginia, not the grandpa that raised me, because I have a different grandma than everybody in the family. Like, because my uncle and my dad have a different mom than all my other aunts and uncles. So my dad married April, which is my mom now. And something happened and he ended up getting in trouble again, whatever. And I ended up staying with that grandma and grandpa. And then April, I guess, tried to take me, but she couldn't. And then I guess she had a way to finagle the system and adopted me. And then my dad came out of jail and took me back, basically stole me back and came to Connecticut. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
So your dad...
My real mom isn't even in the picture. I haven't seen her since I was like 3 months old.
And you don't have no knowledge about her or anything?
I have a lot of knowledge about her.
So she's just living, pretty much?
Yeah. But that's like a whole different story. Like, I thought my mom didn't know about me my whole life, but she really was paying child support for me, and my dad was stealing the money. So that's like a whole nother story. So when I got turned 9, and my dad got arrested. April tried to take me from my grandpa out here, but she was like, I'm not even gonna fight it. And then I ended up staying with him all the way up until I was like 18, and I moved out. But she would always call me. She was like my real mom. Always call me, text me, call my grandpa, talk to him, all that shit. And then when I turned 18 is when me and her like got mad close, heavy as fuck. And me and my sister, I seen her when she was a baby, and then I didn't see her again until she was turning 18.
So you and April is still tight though, right?
That's the one I'm going to move with, my mom's.
Oh, yeah.
And then she got married to my dad, Richard. And then I have...
That's dope. That's dope.
So it's crazy. Really crazy.
Sure.
If my dad could see it now, he'd be a salty motherfucker. He used to have me on Facebook.
He used to have you on Facebook?
Yup, and then he... You want to hear how I found my mom?
Yeah, go ahead.
My real mom, like my birth mom, she sent me a mom request on Facebook.
Like a family member? Not even a friend request? Like a family member request?
Like just out the blue as mom. Like she wanted me to put her on my Facebook as my mom. But I had never spoke to her or nothing.
You know what it was? She probably so ignorant. Not I'm just saying like technology,
but like, is ignorant.
But she probably went to put you as her daughter without knowing that it's gonna.
No, because I wrote to her and she meant to do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying
the situation and she meant
she meant to get sent to you. And
I confronted the situation because how are you gonna be out of my life for like 18 years and then randomly send me a mom friend request while I'm sitting here responding to jail letters to my dad? Like, no, y'all both can fucking eat a dick and leave me the fuck alone. Honestly, that's how I feel.
For sure, I respect that.
Honestly.
All right, so since you had a pretty wild upbringing, I was when I wrote this question, I didn't know if you would have an answer for it, but let's see. Well, what would you say was the most worst pain you ever experienced besides giving birth? Like physical pain.
That's deep. Let's see. Oh no, that's too deep. I can't answer that question. That's a deep fucking question.
But just the physical part, you don't have to say the scenario or anything. Just
I have to say the scenario to say the physical. What do you mean, like physical? Oh, like
if you broke a bone or something, just something that was very painful. Some people say tattoos are painful.
I never broke a bone. Tattoos aren't painful to me.
I never broke a bone either. Thank God.
Yeah, I've never really done. I mean, I have painful things like being like 7, 8 years old, having to carry my drunk dad up the steps. I don't know if that's like painful because I'd be like mad sore in the morning as fuck. I'm like little tiny ass because my dad right now, he's about to be in his 60s. My dad was old when he had me. So like I never really went through any like.
So the thing that came to your mind though that you didn't want to say
was that.
So
I remember I was like 7 years old. My dad was drunk as fuck. Drunk as fuck, and he fell down the steps, and he had to come back up the steps, but he couldn't do it, and there was no one there to help me, so I had to basically carry him on my shoulders, like with his arms, make him hold on to the railing while I'm holding up to the railing and just dragging him up like 2 flights of stairs. I didn't even go to school the next day. I think we ended up moving right after that. I moved mad a lot.
You literally could have had a hernia. Do girls get hernias?
I'm pretty sure, but I didn't even have my fucking period yet. Like, I wasn't even a woman yet. You know what I mean? I was only like 7, 8 years old. That was like not too long before I moved to Connecticut. I remember that shit. That was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Literally. My follow-up question for that was, I was wondering if you had broke a bone or something. How would you compare that to giving birth?
See, it's different for me because I had a cesarean.
You had a C-section. You had a C-section though?
Yeah.
And that's not painful at all?
Well, not really because they numb you and I fell asleep through the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's way different than
honestly, it was worse before because I had to get like 4 or 5 different inductions and my epidural wore off and Aiden almost died before he came out of me. Like,
for real?
Yes. Like, that shit was rough. He was supposed to come December 27th. went in for my induction January 4th. They gave me a catheter. They put the pill behind there. They put the balloon. They did like every single thing, and I was stuck at like, I went from 4 to 6, and I was stuck at 6 centimeters. Then the epidural ran off. Then they tried to give me something else, and his heartbeat started going mad fast. Then they were like, oh.
And the doctors be tripping, right? Low key, like they don't really tell you nothing, but they be like,
no, she was telling me everything because that's the one thing I did was she asked, can I have students come in and watch? Because it's a teaching school. I went to New Britain. And at first I was like, no. But then the second I was like, hell yeah, let them come in. Because then she can't sugarcoat shit. She got to say every single thing. Like, she has to a T. And if they ask something, she has to answer it. If I ask something, they have to answer it. And literally, there's like a little mirror. I can see everything when I'm laying down. Like, that shit was crazy. But nothing worked. And I couldn't eat, couldn't nothing. Then the next day, January 5th, they were like, oh, you're going to have to get a cesarean. You're not inducing. We have to break your water. We broke my water. Still didn't, like, dilate or nothing. So
it wasn't like a choice, really. It was more of like just
I had to. He was already a week and some change late. Then they started like getting me ready to go into the surgery room or whatever. They gave me some medicine, threw up all over my fucking self. I told them I don't want to take this medicine because I'm gonna fucking throw up because I didn't eat. They were like, oh, you can't eat. You're about to have a cesarean, and you know you can't have the food and shit in there when they cut you open or whatever. And so I was like, all right, whatever. I took it. 5 minutes later, I threw up all over the place. They were like, oh, my God, what happened? I was like, I threw up. Like I told you I would. Then they gave me this little needle thing in my back. I laid down. I was knocked out. My baby daddy told me I was, like, talking about, like, cupcakes and shit like that. But I was knocked out. And then when they took him out of me, I was like, ooh. And I woke up. But they basically said he was in my stomach for they don't know how long. With no water, no nothing. His umbilical cord was like in a complete knot. Like they showed me a picture, like a complete knot. Like he wasn't getting no nutrition or anything. They were like, I don't know how he made it. Like for real. They were like, literally. And then at that exact moment, as soon as he came out of me, my baby daddy's grandma died. The exact same day, the exact same time. January 5th, 4:20 p.m.
So he got the call. Wow.
Because she was already in the hospital.
The same hospital?
Yeah. So he literally, as they're putting him on my chest, he's running out to go see his grandma. That's just crazy.
That's a fucking movie.
Literally. And that shit was like
that's the most dramatic fucking birth. Like,
literally, I'm PTSD and never have a kid.
That's
like, no.
OD dramatic.
I swear to God.
Mad shit going on.
When they showed me the picture, I was like, what the fuck? They said they didn't see it in the ultrasound. They couldn't tell when the epidural wasn't working. They said that was probably why when they tried to give me the other epidural, his heart was beating mad fast. So I don't know how the fuck I feel like that's the reason probably why he was so skinny and don't gain no fucking weight. Because he was in there I was a week overdue. A week. December 27th, January 5th. I was in labor for over 24 hours. Like, that shit was because I got induced January 4th at like 9 o'clock in the morning. He didn't come till January 5th, 4:20 p.m. So I was in there over 24 hours giving birth. It was the worst, yo. But all I remember is everybody kept leaving me to go get food. Tried to sneak food in and would ask me if I want to eat food. I was like, no, because like I had like a gut feeling like, no, I'm not eating.
It's a tough situation because nothing technically will help you. So like we're all there to help you. Whoever's there is there to like support you and shit. Mm-hmm. But it's like there's not much we can do, and then us being there is low key a drag. So we're trying to make it as convenient as possible.
My baby daddy brought his fucking PlayStation.
Yeah, that's a smart nigga. That's a smart nigga. Yo, what? If I would have been in there for 24 hours, I would have left.
No, because he plays video games all day, every day. So, like, that one fucking moment where I'm in pain and shit, you just playing video games, ignoring me.
Oh, so he was...
And then I had a cesarean, and then after I had the cesarean, here you go. Now start nursing. Get up, go to the bathroom by yourself. And then after I had the cesarean, it got infected. So I had to go back to the hospital. They had to cut it back open, squeeze out all the infection, stuff it up, and I had to wait for that shit to fall out. No. That's why when people be like, you're going to have another kid? Listen.
Yeah, y'all do got it.
I ain't having another kid unless I got a ring on my finger or I'm dead. Like, that's how
I'm curious about girls who have a lot of kids, how they feel about giving birth, you know, like Like girls that have like 8 kids and shit. Like it must be nothing to them.
You want to ask my mama?
She got a lot of kids.
My mom got Kiana, Jacoby, Jeremiah, Sonny.
Yeah, no. Past 3, you doing.
I know a girl that is like younger than you and has 4 kids.
For sure.
That's wildin'. That's.
I mean,
no disrespect or anything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't judge nobody's situation.
I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, like, I would not. Like, I give you props. I would never. Like, I was I was literally a stepmom before I was a mom. I was a stepmom of 2 before I was a mom.
I look at that a little crazy. I look at that a little crazy more than like, because I had a boy who was doing that. He met a girl who was pregnant, who was already had a baby, and she was pregnant. Like, so he was about to be a stepfather too, with no kids of his own, and that shit was like really was like. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I just didn't get it. Like, I mean, I don't. Now that I have a son, makes sense.
It was one, and then the other one came into the picture, and that shit was wild. And then
it's just love, right?
Damn,
you just in love.
Why I fucking end up realizing how crazy my life been. Yo, what?
Love is the reason, right?
Because my son's oldest sister, when I met her, she was 4 turning 5, and her mom was like outside, like she was a trip. And I looked at her and I'm like, damn, I wonder if that's how it felt when I was that age. Like, I wonder if that's how I felt. Because, you know, you don't remember, like, you remember bits and pieces of the bad shit. But you don't really remember the exact emotion at that moment. So I just looked at her and, like, I literally just fell in love with her. And she got so clingy and so attached to me. It was just like, And at that moment, things were good. It was straight. And then I found out he had a daughter that he wasn't seeing. And when I met her, she was 3 turning 4. Her mom's a good mom, so I can't really complain, but she was really nice. But she was a little more rough than the oldest. She was real rough. I feel like that's why I'm so patient, and I was ready for Aiden, because she was a handful. But they were so sweet and cute, and I like dressing them in matching outfits and doing their hair and shit like that. And then I had it. That's why when I got pregnant, I was like, please be a boy. So then I became a mom of 3 at 22. Yeah, that's crazy. But I don't know. You fall in love with them.
And I mean,
especially when they're there from the beginning, from the jump.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you're like kind of used to kids. I guess I was never used to kids like that, so it just seemed weird to me.
Honest, that's why me dating as a single mom, nobody meets my son. Nobody meets my son.
Yeah.
If we're not talking for more than like a certain amount of time, nobody meets him at all, because he gets very clingy and he gets very attached. So it's like, and he doesn't forget. He won't forget. It'll take him like maybe 2-3 weeks to forget.
I gotta tell you some shit when we get off camera about that. That was cute yesterday. But I want to ask you something about actually dating, being a single mom and all that shit. Do you have any advice for niggas like dating in 2022?
Females are independent now. I don't know if they always knew that.
Well,
I don't know if all females are like me,
true.
so I can't give them advice. Because
females
my
posting
advice
their Cash App on Facebook statuses.
Yo, can I tell you something? As a
single
mom, as me being the person I am, because I feel like I'm a different type of female, but me being the person I am, I hate bitches like that.
Facts.
Because they fuck it up for bitches like me, because now niggas think that they could be like, what's your Cash App? Let me send you money so I can see you.
Okay,
let me just put my shoes on. Let me just run out the door for that $50 that I make myself to take care of me and my child.
But they low key make it good for women like you, because you guys you stand out.
But I guess for me,
same way you look at a nigga offering you that Cash App, the same way I look at a girl posting her Cash App. So it makes me like, I'm able to cancel those girls out.
Then it makes it worse, because then I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that shit. Then they try to sweet talk. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'll send you $100. Oh my God, $100. Send me $1 million. Send me $1 million. Show me the fucking money, because at the end of the day, I take care of myself. I pay my own bills. I take care of my kid myself. Don't nobody help me. I don't got no little village running around like a lot of people do. So if I'm fucking with you, it's because of the company. Like, I don't need all that extra shit.
So if you had to give like three like tips, just advice for like niggas that's trying to date, like what's
I can't give tips
at all.
because
Nothing.
niggas
You don't
and
know nothing
bitches
that
ain't
works.
shit.
Nah,
Just
but
be
for a girl,
real. Keep
okay.
it 100.
See, that's a great tip.
Communicate. Like, be real. Keep it 100. Communicate. Like, I tell straight from the jump. Like, when I first started dating and I first became single, my first thing that I would always say is, I'm a single mom. I got a full-time job. I'll say I'll chill with you, but I ain't gonna chill with you if I'm keeping it a buck. Like, we gotta talk for a grip before, like, I actually, like, pop up and chill with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just, like, I keep it a buck. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, but that's me. Like, but I'm not like, I feel like some females that be like, I don't give a fuck, they really like, I don't give a fuck. Like, they're extras with it. And it's just more of like, I'm me. I ain't changing for nobody. I don't expect you to change for me. Because that's another thing in the sense. I was having this conversation with somebody not too long ago. Because this female was dating this guy. And she got her own shit, take care of her own kids. Like, everybody got fucked up, like, things in life that they go through, whatever. But she was expecting the guy that she was dating to cater to her, take care of her, all that shit. And I don't like that because
most women do though. Most women not do like that, but expect that.
But can I tell you something? Yeah. That's bullshit because not everybody has the same views. If you want
that's why you fire.
If you want a nigga that's gonna do 50-50 with you, and the nigga you with don't believe in 50-50. No, let me say it the other way.
It ain't even up to that real talk though. If I want to do 50-50, it ain't up to you.
No. But
because I'm gonna do my 50.
It is up to me though, but that's that's where
and if
that's
you don't
where
do your
motherfuckers
50,
fucked
then
up because you know what it is. Everybody has different views. So say you believe in the man caters to you all 100, and I'm 50-50. We don't got the same views. We don't got the same beliefs. We don't got the same mind. But if you feel like
if a girl thinks a man does 100,
so I feel like a lot of females think like niggas should be catering to me, keep it 100. Like,
but that's just because of culture right now. It's because of Cardi B. That's because of bitches talking about they need to get their
I understand that, but you're dating somebody who doesn't have the same beliefs as you. So then leave that nigga and go find somebody who believes in taking care of a woman and working and you being a stay-at-home mom. If you're a female that want 50-50, don't get mad when a nigga's catering to you and taking care of you.
So the point is, I think, is just be yourself.
Basically. And not only that, don't expect somebody to fucking change for you. Because what the fuck is the point of that? The whole point of you
alright, hold on, babe.
Fucking with somebody and liking somebody is because of who they are.
Facts.
Why are you gonna fucking change them? If that's the case, leave them and go find somebody that you can't change. That's why females piss me off when they're like, oh, I gotta work on this nigga. Oh, I gotta change this. Oh, this nigga's doing this. I want him to be like this. So leave him and go get a nigga that's like that. Like, I don't get it. Like, I feel like this.
Nah, it's common sense, but common sense ain't common. If that okay, though, I want to make sure that I get it.
I'm listening.
Okay. Alright. So, again, first thing that comes to your mind, whatever. Fake position.
Ooh, that's a good one. Hold on, I gotta think of that one. I don't know. I like to be on top. That's probably my favorite position.
So riding.
Yeah.
All right. Oral or anal?
Oral.
Anal or anal?
Neither. Anal something like you gotta be ready for it. Like you can't know what's coming. Like you just gotta be relaxed. I can't.
What you mean you can't know what's coming?
Once it gets there, it gets all tense back there, and then it's not. It don't just. I don't know. It's just. I can't.
But you're saying you're prepared because obviously to do anal you have to be prepared for the situation. You need lube.
I feel like I'm prepared, but not mentally.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
All right. All right. This is my last question, and then you can like expound on this because I think this is important. It's something I've dealt with in my past, and anyone who's listening, I think this will be very important. Whatever. How important is sex to a relationship?
Ooh. I don't know. It depends on your level of intimacy. Or what you think intimacy is. For sure, but I'm asking you personally, and then some people might. You can't ask me because I'm nasty, so I think.
Nah, that's fine though. That's you. There's a lot of girls that are like you.
To me, sex is kind of a big part because that's that
percentage-wise.
That's that skin to skin, that touch to touch. That's that. You literally when you're fucking somebody, that's literally your whole vibe and your energy is going into that person. So, like, if you're fucking with somebody and they're angry, they're mad, they're tense, that's all that negative energy coming to you.
I heard that before for females, for sure, yeah. I heard that when niggas nutting you, like, you guys carry that with you and shit, like
yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
It's different. Like, it depends on your level of intimacy. Because some people will say, "Oh, sex is not a big part." Like,
let's have this conversation though, because I got my answer is honestly gonna obviously be way different than yours. So I wanna do this by percentage wise. So give your percentage in your relationship. Like, if this was a pie chart for a relationship, what percentage is sex contribute to that relationship?
sheesh, the percentage. I don't know. That's hard.
Like, other things could be good with him, but the sex is buns, is trash.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if it
For me,
overrides other shit, then it's more than 50.
It's more than 50.
Okay,
it
so
might override other shit. It's more than 50, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So so 70, 80?
I'll probably say 75.
75?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably say 75. Maybe 65. Depending. Maybe. But 75.
Now you want to hear my answer?
Now I'm listening.
This is so dope because I feel like people do not expect this shit. And especially like between me and you, because we're like very different people, but I think the stereotype would be people's opinions are different. If I had to be honest, my pie chart, sex would probably be like 25%.
I can tell. But you see, that's why I said the situation is different because.
But that's you
you're
can tell
very
because
affectionate though.
Yeah.
You're a very affectionate person. You're very.
But I don't feel like that has anything to do with sex. Like when I say the 25%, I mean like I'm talking about me. Like if I'm looking for a girl, her sex play is gonna. It's only like if everything else is dope and she has trash pussy.
Sex is buns? Like,
I feel like I really wouldn't care too much. You gotta understand, I'm a man. I've been single for like a long time. I'm very like motivated, driven. I could jerk off like nothing. You feel me? So like I don't see how I don't think there's a pussy that would be or not better than a hand.
Gotcha.
You feel me? So I just don't. It's just not. But
see,
I understand.
That's not true. Even that comes hand in hand because if I'm being honest, I'd rather masturbate than have sex with a nigga because he can't make me come like I could make me come. If I'm being honest. So that doesn't really.
But obviously, sex is still a big part.
Yes, for me.
Yeah.
But that's more of like if I just want to get my off.
See, I feel like when
but I feel like you're speaking in a relationship though. Relationship wise.
Yeah. Okay, but relationship wise, I just don't think. I think other things are important for relationship. I think when sex becomes important is marriage. If that makes sense to you, because I think that's when you guys have to focus on being loyal, and you guys are gonna be with the same person for a long time. Gotcha. So now you guys need to literally. With my wife, I want to sit down. And like I said this before, I'll eat her out and take notes on what she likes.
I get what you're saying because when you're not married, you're giving your all into somebody sex wise, and then that could just at any moment.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's that important in the long run of things. Once you guys get the important shit figured out for the long run, then now it's just about staying with each other, and that's when the horniness could take. Then that's when sex could really like kind of fuck shit up if you're not like bringing it in that sense, but everything else is there. There's still that need for sex, and if someone doesn't want to jerk off, they might look other places that seem nice to fill in that quick sex thing. But if you have because some relationships are good at just be the sex, like that'd be a lot of bad marriages. So like if they could just figure out what they need and talk about it,
I get what you're saying, kind of like
even if you don't enjoy it, but again, you guys are married, you gotta do it for the person you love. It's like pleasing the person you love, and at that point, I feel like that's when you wouldn't mind, like, you know what I'm saying, just doing a little extra and doing whatever it is that she enjoys, and she vice versa. You feel me?
Yeah, but then what if you're married and then you try to work on the sex, but it's still not there, and then the intimacy slowly loses itself?
Okay, so I feel like truly.
Because intimacy, no matter how much you say it, connects powerfully to your emotions. Because intimacy is not only sex.
I think intimacy has to do with attraction, though. Being attracted to the person. I feel like if you're not attracted to the person, it almost would be impossible to be intimate.
So that goes in the sense of saying, if you're in a marriage and one person is not so sexual and the other person is, you don't think the person that is sexual will eventually slowly deplete in their self-confidence? Because it's like, damn, my own husband don't even want to.
No, because I feel like, again, all right, my ideal situation is the relationship. You build the important things like communication and stuff, right, and the love and all that trust and all that stuff. Once all those stuffs is built, you're not looking at sex like it's like a drive, like, oh, I have an urge. It's more of like, yo, we're married and we're pleasing each other. You know, like this is what my partner likes.
Because when you're dating, it's more of like.
But you can't be OD with it. You can't be like, yo, I want head every morning. You know what I'm saying?
I hate niggas like
you just gotta be like, yo, like, say if I really like head and she don't really like giving head, we just gotta come to like understanding. But look, I really like head. You may not like doing it. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? I'll do the thing you like, you know, and then you give me the head.
You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
You feel me though? But you just make it work. You just make it work.
Saying. Well, but you got to think of it this way too. In a marriage, you're more forced to work on things together. That's why a lot of marriages break apart, because they don't want to work on shit. And I feel like when you're dating, it's easier to just be like, deuces.
Do you believe in like legal marriage? Like going to the court to get your paper signed and shit?
Can I tell you something?
Of course.
I did. I really did, until I was engaged for 2 years and never got married. That kind of like washed that away.
So it kind of showed you the meaning of like
marriage. Yeah. Like hard body, because it don't, like having a ring on your finger really don't mean nothing.
And it's crazy because
I'm not saying I would never get married, because of course I would love to get married, but my experience with marriage has not been.
When I talk about marriage, I'm strictly talking about courts. I feel like it's possible to have everything else just without court involved. I don't believe in government and dealing with government in any way. So why put my relationship in the government's hands?
That's why a lot of people say, "Oh, we've been together for over 10 years. Legally, we're married, ring or not." That's what they be saying.
Facts, though. But I feel like that has to be understanding, and it should be an easy understanding, because like when you go through a divorce, you're literally you have to present your problems to the court, and you have to like paint a bad image of the other person, which isn't necessary.
That's why a lot of people separate before they divorce. And I know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the divorce
I don't believe in getting married more than once. If I ever get married once and have a divorce, I'm never getting married again.
I disagree with that. Just
because I believe if you're getting married, that's till death do you part. Like, if you get married and you divorce, what the fuck was the point of getting married in the first place?
I don't believe in to death do you part by anything. I think everything is subjective. Everything is circumstantial.
Yeah, but if you're getting married, you gotta believe in that part, because that's what they say.
That's what they say. That's not what I say. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
so who is they? Don't believe in marriage.
No, in my interpretation of marriage, I do. In my interpretation of marriage, is just a bond.
What do you believe in marriage?
Just a bond
like
between
actually getting married, walking down the aisle, ring on your finger.
Yes, and the difference. All right, so the difference I'll say, since there's no paper involved, the difference that what would be with me getting married and me being in a relationship is just that. Wouldn't be much different, because it's technically the same thing, right? But it'll just be more of a stamp, like
marking your territory.
But in the way you move too, like just like even if you wasn't, obviously you're not cheating in a relationship, but like everything's out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like a full man. Like female should just be out of your vision completely. No, like it should just literally, you should be fully focused at that point. Once you get married, I feel like you should be able to fully focus on whatever you want to get done now, because the female part is figured out. That's out the window. You know what I'm saying? You got that.
But that's why they say when you marry somebody who got their own and you got your own, so y'all can come together and make one big empire. Because when y'all break apart, because what a lot of people don't know either is like when you get into a relationship, we had this conversation the other day, when you get into a relationship and you like pour yourself into that person, you don't find yourself. So I feel like for you to get married, I feel like you got to really know yourself, self-love yourself, and the person you're with has to know themselves, self-love themselves. Because if y'all both are getting married, No matter how long y'all been together, it don't matter. Because if y'all constantly just pouring into each other for fucking years and years and years, when you get married, it's the same thing. There ain't no change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you 100%. And
so I feel like if you don't have your own before you're married, like, how can you come together as one? And like,
but if those people are on the understanding, then obviously I think they would agree with me about the marriage, because I feel like the only thing that comes in with marriage is someone wanting something from the other person that they might not get personally.
It's different to me when I answer questions, because I look at both sides, because I have what I know, like what I think, what I believe, but like I understand other people's views of it too. But like, I don't know. I feel like, to me, marriage.
I think the issue though with getting yourself together before you get with another person is the loneliness that comes, and then the shamefulness of being like a slut and shit like that.
But if
you should be able to be a whore.
First of all,
slut yourself out until you get your bag right, and then focus on love.
If you're lonely when you're single, you don't really love yourself. Huh? I feel like if you're lonely when you're single, you don't really love yourself.
I disagree. I mean, I disagree 100%.
Like, I could go out to eat by myself.
I love the shit out myself, but bro, sometimes I be lonely, bro. Sometimes they don't be like certain activities just are better with more people involved. You know, like, okay, let me put it like this. I'm a big UFC fan. Like, that's my favorite sport. Like, I could talk about that shit all day. I don't know anyone that fucking knows that sport like me. So I still love the sport. I have fun with it, but sometimes I feel lonely because shit be happening. And I'm just like, I wish I had someone to hit up like, yo, did you fucking see the fucking fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that. You feel me? So when I see niggas talk about football, I be hot. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have a conversation about basketball. Niggas talking about playing with balls. Like, what the fuck?
That's why I'm very strong on being a friend before you get in a relationship too.
Yeah, I think that's Mando.
Like, a lot of people like skip that stuff.
But what I'm saying is that you don't need to do that.
So nobody should be slut shaming anybody or anything, because listen, when you're single, you can do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. Single does what single wants. I'm sorry, because I don't know how many times I've got slut shamed, but we won't speak about that. I can do whatever the fuck I want when I'm single. The fuck? My son's good. I'm good. My son's where he's supposed to be. Don't worry what club I'm at 2 o'clock in the morning if my son is safe in the fucking bed with whoever the fuck he's with.
That's a fact though. People be too worried about other people's lives. I hate that about Facebook.
Because I don't go. That's why I don't post. I don't know if you ever see when I go out. I don't post a lot because it's like, I'm not posting when I go out so y'all can sit here and be like, oh, where's Aiden? Who has Aiden? Yeah. Don't worry, I got me and this drink in my hand and everybody's good. Like, don't worry about it. Or, oh, who's that nigga? Oh, new nigga. Oh, this. Oh, mind your fucking business. Mind your business. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't like when people hit me up about shit that really shouldn't have nothing to do with them. And they're just like, they're just being nosy and shit. And that's one of my pet peeves. You feel me? I hate when you post a story that kind of shows something new or whatever that niggas don't know about. Niggas just hit you up about that particular thing. But niggas ain't hit you up in a minute to see what's going on or how you been. But niggas will hit you up just as like, yo, you got this? Like, it's like.
Listen, I've had bad experiences with niggas in last year. Listen, I could tell you stories for days and you'd be like, what? Don't slut shame. That's it.
Yeah. At all.
Don't slut shame.
I think, hold on, before I end this shit, I think a whole phase is necessary.
It is
for a girl to become a wife, and I think if you have a girl that you've been with,
it's very necessary.
If you're in a relationship right now with someone who you lost your virginity to, y'all not lasting. And if y'all do last, she's cheating, and you don't know about it. But if she don't break up,
you say that.
I swear, it's a fact.
Listen, I had a whole phase, and I'm gonna tell you something. It taught me a fucking lot, and that's why I'm mad, like, firm, and I am the way I am right now. Because, listen, if you get newly single after years of not being single, be a hoe. Be a hoe. You find yourself, you love yourself, you learn yourself, for real.
Otherwise, you're just never gonna know. You're just never gonna know, and then it's gonna.
Because mind you, I've never been single. When I broke up with my baby daddy, that was the first time in years. Because when I was in high school, I had a high school sweetheart. We moved out together. Literally, I moved out with him. Like a couple months later, me and my baby daddy got together, and was living with each other ever since. So this was like the first time I was like single, and it was like I felt like Jasmine and Aladdin, a whole new world.
Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck? Like, this is like life. Like this is what it's like to be single, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it for like 3 months, maybe 4 months. And it got a little stressful and a little rocky and a little bumpy, and that's when the lessons started coming and the rain started pouring. And
Facts.
But whole phase is necessary. I feel like
that's the difference between.
But that comes in the sense of don't rush into another relationship. Don't expect a new nigga to break the heart of an old nigga, because that new nigga might break your heart too, nigga. And then your shit gonna be shattered everywhere.
Where girls' whole faces is, they low key be kind of they're long, like a long whole face for a girl is like 2 years, which isn't really that crazy. That could be her being from like 21 to 23.
After them 3 months of the whole phase, I was like, this ain't right. I can't.
Yo, niggas have a whole phase, a solid 5-year whole phase, because you understand we're not getting as much pussy as you guys will get dick in that amount of time. So for us to fully have that whole phase, we need about a good 5 years of busting cheeks. A good 5 years of busting cheeks. So again, if you're a girl dating a nigga
because I hear that a lot,
who wasn't single for 5 years and hasn't cracked more than at least.
How long you been single?
At least I've been single for a grip.
How long you been single though? Years? How you put it
in total?
Yeah.
Since I lost my virginity, I lost my virginity at 18, pretty late. I started cracking cheeks. Once I lost my virginity, I was cracking cheeks. But I was in a relationship when I lost my virginity, right? But I just started cheating because I was cracking cheeks.
That's not what I asked you. I asked how long you been single for.
In total, probably probably 6 years.
Okay. All right, go ahead, keep talking.
But real talk though, like, because I feel like some niggas might think they get out of it, they're out of it, and they're ready for a relationship, but they're really not. They just haven't got to really had the option to be a hoe to really get out of that whole phase.
But I feel like my mindset is different, and that's the reason why my whole phase wasn't that long. Because like I said, my mindset is very different compared to a lot of females, and that's another thing I learned through my little whole phase, because some of y'all females just don't whole phase right.
You know what you mean by that?
Like, they just don't. I don't know. I feel like some females don't learn from it. Like, they just...
Maybe their phase ain't over.
Maybe it ain't never going to be over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they in it for the long run.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people...
Then that's a lot of... That's a lot of females out there.
I know niggas that are hoes for a minute. They've been cracking cheeks for a long time. And they not ready to settle down. Some niggas love that life. You know what I'm saying?
The bachelor lifestyle.
I don't think cracking cheeks is that serious, if I had to be honest. I think niggas put way too much weight on cracking cheeks. When
that's true,
just because I'm a cheek cracker.
That's because they lack in other areas and other aspects. Like, I've dated a nigga before who had his own whip, his own everything, and then I found out that nigga ain't have his own whip, his own anything. Like, but
what that had to do with cracking cheeks?
That's them lacking in other areas, so they got to make sure they cracking cheeks good and cracking cheeks all the time. And listen,
I think every guy has that battle.
That's true.
I think it's just.
But you said
learning is not
guys
important.
think that's important, and that's probably why they think that's important. Because they lack
natural.
in other areas, mentally,
but I don't think it's because
emotionally, communicating. Okay. Like they
lack knowledge. They lack the knowledge
in a nutshell.
Pussy is power. A lot of people say that.
It is.
But is it really?
It really is.
That's the question of the day.
It is.
I disagree.
You know, baby daddy. If you want to, like,
but see, he don't have the knowledge yet. Bro just don't have the knowledge yet. Once you realize what is power, which is knowledge.
Years old. If he ain't got the knowledge now,
Nah, some people bloom late. Don't do that. Some people. Einstein, I heard, like, whatever, was that 40, whatever. But you feel me though? Like, once niggas realize what the real goal is and shit for them, whatever it is that they need to strive for, everything else is gonna fall in line. All that shit really don't matter. That shit just gonna happen. Chasing is what I mean, but like, it don't matter. Chasing pussy is dumb. Spending money on bitches for pussy is stupid, bro.
I agree.
Stupid. I'm not taking no girl out with the intent to smash.
No.
If I got the intent to crack, Netflix and chill. And obvious as fuck. I'm at you at 3 a.m.
Listen.
3 a.m. pull up, watch Netflix, because you know I'm trying to crack, nigga. But I'm not about to be taking nobody to no movies or spending hours with someone, listening to someone talk about their life that I don't care about just to crack some cheeks, nigga. I'll jerk
But
off
can I say
with
something?
5 minutes and then go
It's
back to
funny
smoking
that
the
you
blunt
say
and doing
that
what I do.
because a lot of niggas take it personal when females do that to them.
What you mean? Like fuck them and leave them?
Yeah.
I think it's because niggas thinking it has to do with their sex game instead of it being like you know what I'm saying?
Because when I went through my whole phase, I had that was my problem. I had a nigga mentality. Like, that was my nigga mentality. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And a lot of niggas would be like, damn, shorty. Like, and then you get slut shamed for that shit. So, like.
But I think also slut shaming really stems from niggas hating and bitches hating. Like, a girl being salty and a nigga being salty.
True. And then me not.
Niggas who really popping, yeah, people who really.
Because I really just don't give a fuck. You
people
can say
who
what
don't
you
give
want
a fuck
about
don't
me, like,
slut shame. We don't shame shit, nigga.
I don't
Only
either.
shame
Do you, boo boo?
Only shame I do is fat shaming. I ain't even no disrespect to fat people.
That's fucked up. You shouldn't even fat shame.
Nah, I
either.
fat shame like a motherfucker because I was fat. And I'm
okay,
still kind of
that's
fat.
fine. So
But
then you should know not to fat shame people.
The reason why I fat shame is because it's
due to them what they did to you.
No, it's a choice, and people don't look at it like that. People want people to feel sorry, but it's a choice, man. It's an unhealthy choice. And I truly believe anyone who's fat would be happier non-fat. I don't know anyone who'd be like, I'm happier being fat as fuck and not being able to get up and being tired. Anyone who's fat, if they lost weight, they would be a happier person, have a better life. That's why
actually
I
have
fat
health
shame.
reasons and they can't lose weight.
What health reason makes you eat a McChicken, McDouble, stacked together?
Some people will eat really good and try to get their life on track and fucking exercise and really can't lose weight. That's why a lot of bitches been getting them fucking, not bitches, but I'd seen like.
Nah, they're lazy. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible.
Some people get weight loss surgery.
Because they're lazy. It's impossible. I'm telling you right now, it's common sense. If you
burn
burn more calories than you intake, you will lose weight. There's no way. Your body has to feed off something. So as long as you can eat Oreos all day. If you eat 300 calories of Oreos, but you burn 1,000, you're gonna lose weight. So them niggas who saying they ain't losing weight ain't doing nothing. You feel me? They're just lazy. I was 240. I'm 160 right now. You feel me? That's almost a 100-pound difference.
Again, as I say, you weigh less than me.
Iced tea. It look like Patron, but it's iced tea.
It does not fucking look like Patron.
I had it next to the bottle yesterday to fool niggas and shit. But that was really good, babe. That was fine.
What?